We'll return to Parliament now because the House has reconvened after a 9-week break. Key on the table to be discussed is a controversial LGBTQ bill. Already, Parliament appears to have heeded to public calls and have taken a decision to make the debate as well as consideration of the anti-LGBTQI bill transparent. This assurance comes on the heels of agitations for the debate on the controversial bill to be made public. In his welcome address to the House, which reconvened from a 3-month break today, Speaker of Parliament Bagbin called for an honest conversation on the bill, devoid of political and religious sentiments, and urged opposing sides to be tolerant of one another.
The bill that has been christened the LGBTQI+. Honorable members, the bill before the House has generated a national conversation. And the bill before the House is christened the promotion of proper human sexual rights and guardian family values. And this bill continues to generate a lot of interest. In fact, has taken and assumed some different dimensions. For me, this is healthy for a maturing democracy like Ghana. It's important we allow various shades of opinions to canvass their positions on the bill. As Ghanaians, I want to plead with us to accommodate the views of others, whatever perceptions they have, and let's maintain the peace and coolness of mind and heart. The Parliament of Ghana is capable of handling the situation. I will assure citizens of this country that we will create the enabling environment for all to put across their views. At the end of the day, the processes of the House will determine the outcome. And when that is done, I am very convinced that the law that will come out of all this, if any, will protect the culture and values of our people and the Ghanaian identity. It's a law, I believe, that will also take into consideration the human rights and freedoms that have been guaranteed under our Constitution. And it's a law that it will take into consideration the richness of the common sense, human decency, morality, fact, logic, and at the end of the day, it's a law that will bring and transform this country into something else. So please, let's allow, whether they are religious bodies, civil society, academia, or whatever, to participate in the deliberations of this House. I know Ghanaians are expectant, and I know we have over 100 petitions before the Committee on Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, but we'll try not to allow any filibustering of this bill. because it's not only Africa. The whole world is looking for the outcome of this bill. And so we will not just allow people to come and try to delay the process. We'll make the process public, and I support what the majority leader said. The sitting of the committee will be public, and the decision of this House will be public. We will want to know where each member of Parliament stands.
Meanwhile, the Minority Leader Haruna Idrisu is asking the committee to ensure the compilation of the report reflects the values and norms of the Ghanaian society.
Matter of LGBTQI plus. I couldn't agree more with you, Mr. Speaker, on your position on the subject, and trust that our Committee on Constitutional Legal will engage appropriately the people of Ghana and the petitioners. Mr. Speaker, it is not for nothing that Article 106 provides that bills are gazetted for purpose of elucidating input from the public. And it should not stay per our standing orders more than 3 months within the committee. We expect the Committee of Constitutional Legal to lead Parliament living up to that litmus test of an anti-LGBTQI legislation and nothing more. One that reflects our values, our morality, and the wishes of the generality of our society. How I wish I added that those who dare doubt what the position of Ghana will be on this matter probably could have examined or tested it at a referendum.
My colleague Parkway Simpaka Wilson has been monitoring events for us in Parliament. He joins us via Zoom for more. Parker, what else has been happening in the House aside talks on the LGBTQI plus bill and the minorities' demand for removal of petroleum levies?
Shortly after the minority leader,
the issue of the LGBT, shortly after the minority leader Haruna Idrisu spoke, the majority leader also waded into the conversation, and his point was that let no one believe or suggest that a group of individuals within the majority side are not in favor of the bill. His position has been that there are some portions or clauses in the bill that should be fine-tuned, and so in principle the NPP and the majority side agree with the bill. However, some people are creating the impression that the NPP is against the bill. So that was the position he made, and also asked the committee to ensure that they do a thorough job before submitting the bill to the floor of the House. Now, after that, there's been some presentation of papers on the floor. Today, nothing much was done. Parliament adjourned just about 10 minutes ago, roughly 10 minutes ago. But before that, we do understand that the annual statement by the Audit Committee of Ghana Meteorological Agency for the year 2020 was submitted to the House. And again, the performance audit report of the Auditor General on the distribution of medical supplies in Ghana was also submitted to the floor of the House. So basically, today, apart from the welcoming address from the Speaker of Parliament, the minority leader and the majority leader, a few papers have been put before the House for consideration. Again, there was a conversation about the election of MMDC. And Aisha, you recall that recently, even in Cape Coast, where we had some violence as far as the confirmation of the MC for the area was concerned, the minority leader raised a major concern and indicated that it has become necessary for the country to now relook at how we can elect MMDCs. Now, the position of the NDC has been that let's elect MMDC, but not on partisan lines. However, he believes that the time has come for us to bring the conversation back to the table, the front burner, for us to have a very thorough discussion on the conversation. The majority leader on the other side agrees that indeed what happened was not really the best, but however, wanted the minority to join and assist them with the election of MMDCs on partisan lines. So I'm sure that going forward in the subsequent days or weeks ahead is something that will really dominate discussion here on the floor of Parliament.
The minority also descended on the vice president regarding the fall of the cedi. Tell me more about that.
So that's correct. Now, the minority recounted some claims made by the vice president some years gone by. They reminded Ghanaians on what the vice president, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, said, that he's managed to arrest the cedi, the dollar, and handed the keys over to the IGP. Shortly after that, we saw the cedi declining. So these are false claims, and they are asking him that going forward, he should be guided by the past and avoid or refrain from making false claims about the state of the Ghanaian currency. In the view of the minority, some of these things affect business confidence. So at the press conference, it was really an issue the minority raised that going forward, the vice president must desist from that practice which they believe it doesn't augur well for the development of our economy. And they also talk about the composition of the toll board and then again the removal of the taxes imposed on petroleum products.
Parker Wilson is our man in Parliament, and we are still monitoring how the LGBTQ plus bill will be going in Parliament. Do we know when they're going to begin work on that, Parker?
Well, so we do not have a clear timelines as to when the committee will present the report before the House. But what we know is that, and the Speaker actually mentioned it, that they do not want any individual to delay the processes and even the passage of the bill. And in law or in Parliament, the committee has not more than 3 months to discuss the bill, look through the bill, and present its report before the plenary. So it is expected that looking at the interest this bill has generated all across the country, the committee will do a thorough job and in the next few weeks present its report to the House for the debate to happen. You heard the Speaker clearly that every member of Parliament would have to state his position on this matter. And I have been speaking to some members of the majority, in fact, the MP for Pankrono, Tafo Pankrono, who tells me that whilst Parliament was on recess, he managed to consult some religious leaders and traditional leaders within his constituency. And they were clear in their minds that the bill is something they support. So as he's headed to Parliament, he should ensure that his decision or the decision he takes in Parliament reflects the will of the people, which is in support of the passage of the bill. So for him, the Speaker saying that every member of Parliament would have to declare his stance, he is ready to declare his stance on the matter because his people have asked him to vote in favor of the bill. Same for Mr. Atacha, Samuel Atacha. When I spoke to him, he also told me that he has consulted his people, and his people says if he gets back to Parliament, he should vote in favor of the bill. So it appears that some members of the NPP are gradually making their stance known, and their stance is simple, that though the bill will protect the values and norms of the Ghanaian society, it is also important that we also look at some of the issues that they deem fit that it could infringe on the rights of individuals.
My colleague Parker Wilson in Parliament for us.